Recording. Welcome everybody to the presentation tonight. My name is Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy. I'm very excited to be with you tonight. We're going to have some fun for sure. Okay, so I'm going to try to cover a lot of content with you tonight. I want to make sure that you leave with your minds blown tonight. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you into Teamzy. It sounded like some of you are already using it, but I'm going to take you into Teamzy, show you how to set it up perfectly, and how to crush a power hour so you can get all of your connecting done, all your income producing activities done in less than an hour each day. Okay, so I'll show you the workflows on all that. But first, I want to teach you a little bit about the system Teamzy is based on, the philosophy that Teamzy is based on, which is relationship marketing. So you need to kind of understand what Teamzy helps you to do, which is to build relationships in a systematic way for a specific reason. Okay, so I'm going to take you through a little bit of training on relationship marketing first, then we'll dive into Teamzy. At the end, we'll do Q&A. So if you have questions, I'll stay around and I can answer any questions that might come up. I have you all on mute now, but I want you also to know that if you feel, the spirit move you and you have to ask a question in the middle, that's okay. Just unmute yourself and go for it. We'll get back on track after that. Okay. Awesome. So let's start with, is this the right presentation? Yes. This is what I want to talk to you about first, how to systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. Okay, what do I mean by power hour boss? I mean that you can do this business, the important stuff, in an hour a day, and then you can enjoy your life. Okay, then you can enjoy your life. And I have to say, I'm the practitioner of this life now. It's pretty cool. A little bit of work here, play with my kids, a little bit of work there, build my empire. You got to just get focused. Make sense? So let me give you a little bit about my background for those of you who haven't met me. As I told you, my name's Eric Johnson. My background's in coaching and consulting. I've been a professional business coach for the past 16 years. Primarily, I worked with real estate teams and mortgage brokers and things like that, helping them build their business by relationship. I fell into direct sales by accident, found some products that really helped me, changed my life really. And I was excited about them and I was just sharing them naturally with people. Wasn't really interested in the whole network marketing business plan. I didn't really understand it. But when I did take a look at it, I thought, hey, this is a pretty awesome business opportunity. And so I started looking at it, kind of as a side gig for myself. And I realized, looking at my schedule, that I only had about an hour a day. So I started thinking, okay, well, how would I consult myself if I was my own customer? The first thing I would do is go look for some tools to help me leverage my time because I only had that hour. I had to be super productive. And as I dug around and looked, what I found was that there really weren't any great tools in our industry. Nothing that really could help us do what we needed to do. There was a few tools, but they were kind of like what I had to use at work. Too complicated for me. I don't like complicated software. It needed to be very easy. So long story short, we built Teamzy 3.5 years ago because I was like, I can't believe there are no tools. 35 million people in the United States in direct sales and no tools for us as professionals. So that's kind of how Teamzy was born. Just to give you an idea, in 3.5 years, we've had 80,000 people use Teamzy, which is like, I look at that number and I can't even believe it's real. It's kind of been an insane, wild ride for the past 3 years and incredibly humbling for us. But obviously people liked it, needed it. Just so you know too, people who are actively using Teamzy, they're averaging 21 customers and 9 recruits over 90 days, okay? 21 customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. I'll always quote you a 90-day stat because I believe it takes a little bit of time and effort to really yield results in this business. I know Mike's got a background in coaching too. And there's a 90-day cycle to your activity. That's why when people take 3-week vacations in July, they find they have a real slow Thanksgiving season, right? Because then 90 days later, just that activity hits them. So anyways, pretty awesome results. Let's jump back into this presentation because I want to talk to you about relationship marketing. What is relationship marketing? It's kind of become a buzzword. And a lot of people think of this as just meaning that you sell stuff to your friends, right? Sometimes that's what turns people off to our business is, do I have to sell stuff to my friends? I want you guys to understand relationship marketing is much more than that. Okay? It's actually a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. Okay, and that's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. You guys need to understand that you don't have a job marketing Optavia and selling it. You're business owners. Okay, the first mindset shift you need to have is that you own your business. And as a business owner, your business is lead generation. That's the business you're in. Your job is to create leads for the business. Okay. And the first decision you make as a business owner in any business startup is, what lead generation system will we use? How will we bring customers to this business? Make sense? And I'm here to tell you relationship marketing is where it's at. It's faster, it works better, it's more fun, it's more rewarding, and more sustainable over the long term. Pretty cool, right? So here's the first principle you need to understand. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Often you'll be told getting sales or making profit is your duty as a business. But I want you to know with relationship marketing, it's getting relationships and deepening them. Okay? Yeah, we're going to get some sales. Yes, we'll recruit some people to the team. But your job is to build relationships. When you build a relationship, you've won. When you've met somebody new and added them to your list, you've already got the victory, even if you don't have the sale. Why? Because what we do with relationships is we turn them into advocates. We turn them into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. Okay? It's a reframing of your thinking, guys. Every single person you meet can be your advocate, and they may never be a customer. They may never join your team, but they can be an advocate. And what you guys do as a company is a really specific and special and needed mission, isn't it? Something everybody can get behind, right? So it's really important that you think about people as your advocates. Next principle, relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't going to work. And there are people in our business who are jerks. Have you guys run across anybody in your life doing network marketing in a way that made you feel a little dirty, icky? Maybe have done some things that were a little less than trustworthy. With relationship marketing, none of that will fly. Trust is so fragile that if you do anything that's not genuine and authentic, this system won't work for you, which is why I love it, right? Because trust makes the work fun. If somebody trusts you, you don't have to convince them. You don't have to sell them. You can get right to helping them. Also, trust removes the ickiness from the sales process. No one will ever think of you as an icky salesperson when you're working the system because you're building trust with them, not trying to get their money. And then you get to go for yes. You get to go for yes. This whole go for no concept, I don't know if you guys have heard about the go for no thing. It's kind of a popular buzzword in our industry. The idea that rejection is just a part of this and it's all good. Just stick in your skin and go for it. Don't worry about the rejection. You're going to get the yeses. Keep going. With relationship marketing, rejection is really a rare occurrence. You're building relationships, you're building trust, and you're going for yes. Okay? So how do you build trust? I'll teach you tonight the basics. Okay? There's 4 essential ingredients to building trust. And I want you guys to think about this in terms of your business and how you're building it. Again, your focus now, I want to shift your focus to building relationships. And how do we do that? We do that by building trust. Okay? Number 1, first essential ingredient is chemistry. Chemistry. Number 2 is character. Okay? Character. Number 3 is competence. Competence. And number 4 is consistency. The 4 essential ingredients to building trust: chemistry, character, competence, consistency. All right, let's break these down for you. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Put quite simply, nobody wants to do business with someone they don't like. Okay? So make sure your focus is on uniting and not dividing. And ask some questions to find out what you have in common with people. Find out what you have in common with them. What is it about you they can relate to? In your business, obviously, if you've lost weight, that's something they can relate to, right? That's a big one. I know in my business, that was it. I lost 62 pounds. People could relate to that, right? That's a good example. But what is it about you they can relate to? Where have you traveled? What do you know? What do you like? Here's the thing. You have something in common with every single person on the planet. So focus on what you have in common with people. Okay. Number 2, character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Okay. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. I want you guys to understand something. You don't have character. You don't have it. It's something you do. Character is an action you take. It's not something you have. We think like the most important things in this world when it comes to being a person and having relationships, we think we own, and they're all things we have to do. Love is one. Character is one. Trust is one. Does this make sense? These are things we have to do. Character is something you do. You have to demonstrate your care for people so they know your character. Doesn't matter what you think it is. Does this make sense? And I want you to think about it as your business, your character. People trust you because you have character. You have to demonstrate it everything you do. Not just how you do your business, how you drive your car, how you return the shopping cart at the grocery store, how you treat the people who serve you out in life. Your character is demonstrated in everything you do. How you post on social media, is it all about you or is it about your audience, bringing value to them? So you need to think through the lens of how am I demonstrating my character and my care for others in everything that I do. Number 3, competence. Competence. Mike, you know that I want to spend a whole day just talking about number 2, right? Okay, but I'm moving on. Competence, number 3. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Okay, competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. You need to be thinking about growing in your competence with relationship to your products and what they do for people and how they work, right? And with how your business works. There's 2 pieces to this. And when I come to you, first as a potential customer, I need to know you're competent. Do you know what you're talking about? Do you know how to help me with my problem? Okay. Because I'm not going to trust you with my money until I know that. Number 2 is when I'm in love with the products and I want to join the business, do I trust you to be my mentor? Do I think you're the person I should have sponsor me into this business? These are the things I want you demonstrating to me in your posts on social media, the way you talk, the things that you're learning, the things that you're sharing, right? You're learning about all this stuff. Now, do I have anybody on the call who's new? Do I have any new people? Newer folks? I got a couple. For new people, you may not have the competence yet, or you may be in the process of gaining it. I want that. This is really important though, because a lot of times you'll hear people say, you can just fake it till you make it type thing. But when you're new, you cannot fake competence. You cannot fake it. And I don't want you to. When you're new, you need to own that. Say, hey, I'm new, but lean into the competence of your team. Lean into the competence of your team. Hey, I'm new, but I'm being mentored by the best in the business. So together, I'm going to connect you to that font of information. Okay, you have any questions? I'll find the answers to you. You want to join me in the business? I'm new too, but we're plugging into one of the most experienced teams with the training in place. Here's the systems in place. Here are the people that are going to be supporting and helping us. Let's do this together. Okay? So when you're new, you need to talk about and demonstrate the competence of your team so that people know you're aligned with the right people. I had a former boss who used to talk about the New York Yankees. Now, look, I grew up in New England, so don't get mad at me if you hate the Yankees. I grew up in Red Sox territory, okay? It's just an analogy. But he said if you were a completely unknown person and they drafted you onto the New York Yankees and put the uniform on you, everybody knows you're associated with a winning team. Does that make sense? And so that's the point I want you guys to get. When you don't have your competence, you need to put on your jersey and let people know you're part of a winning team and they can join this winning team too. And as you grow in your competence and you bring new people onto your team, teach them to lean into you until they get there. But competence is a key place, a key thing that needs to be demonstrated. Okay. Principle on these 3 before I move on to number 4. When somebody is planning or looking at doing business with you, they really only care about 3 things. Okay. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Okay. You may have seen these questions before. I'm not making any of this stuff up. I'm just calling together for you some of the universal wisdom that's out there. Here's the thing though. When you come up against any sort of objection in your business, all objections come from these questions. Okay. All objections come from these questions. You need to be able to overcome objections, get the training, learn from the team, how to do that. But understand that you need to continue working on that relationship. As you build trust, as you invest in that relationship, these questions will go away and so will objections. People will just be on the ride with you and it's so much fun. Does it make sense? Okay. Number 4, consistency. Consistency. The 4th ingredient for building trust, consistency. Let me see your hands if you have kids, if you've raised kids or raising kids now. Was it important to be consistent? Absolutely. It's important with any relationship to be consistent. The most important, you want people to trust you, got to be consistent. I make a promise to my wife. She says, show me, don't tell me. Right? It's about being consistent. And I love this principle on consistency, that people respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. When people see you being consistent, not only do they start to trust you, they know you're dependable. They want to be around it. It draws them to you. It amazes them. People love being around consistent people. Think about it. I mean, for example, living a healthy lifestyle, that's hard for a lot of people, isn't it? And when they see you doing it, they see you making progress, it's amazing to them. They want to be around it. Consistency not only builds trust, but it builds your team. It brings people to you. It inspires them. Have any of you been told you're inspiring? People find what you're doing inspiring. And it's kind of mind-blowing, isn't it? I know people tell me that all the time. I get the most incredible messages from people. And it's so humbling. But it's that consistency. People see that. Does this make sense? By the way, this principle is from one of my favorite books. I'm going to recommend it to you guys. Are you guys into personal development? Yes, I hope so. Look, here's a great book to put on your list. It's called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. Have any of you guys read this one already?
Yeah, that's our college textbook. So Jordan has that book, and yeah, it's a great one.
College textbook. Look at that. Man,
In persuasion, yeah.
I wish I went to your college. I didn't learn anything that useful. It's a great one. By the way, if you're not a reader, he has a TED Talk. You can get the gist from the TED Talk. Go look that up. Okay, so anyways, people respect consistency and desire it for themselves. Just really quick before I do the next slide. Let me see your faces. If your camera's off, pop them on real quick. As long as you're dressed. You laugh. I was once doing a Zoom and the husband walked out of the shower in the background, walked across the room. Everyone's like, all right, luckily you're this big on my screen right now. So how many of you are consistent with your healthy lifestyle? You've got that dialed in. You're living that out in front and showing people what you're doing. Let me see that. Great. How many of you are consistently sharing that on social media and you're sharing your journey and what you're learning on social media? Let me see your hands. Okay. Almost as good. There's a few of you that, we want to get your hands up there. The thing is most of us are good about using our products and being consistent with the lifestyle that we're selling. Hopefully, you got to be, right? No one's going to trust you if you're not. And consistent about sharing, and that's a huge piece of this. But what I really want to talk to you about is being consistent with connecting with the people in your life, with talking to relationships, connecting with them. Okay? The checkup from the neck up, as Zig Ziglar used to say. Are you as consistent with your relationships? Are you as consistent with checking in, staying in touch with people as you are about doing those other things? Here's what I want you guys to understand. Relationship building is a contact sport. You have to be in contact with people one-on-one if you want to have a relationship with them. I would tell you that you need to be in regular contact with everybody you know if you want to build this business. And I know your time is scarce. Don't worry. That's why we have Teamzy. I'm going to show you in a minute. You can do it all literally in less than an hour a day. But you need to be in contact with everybody. Here's the principle. This is the big principle for tonight. Then we'll get into Teamzy. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. I just want to talk to you guys about this real quick. See, the thing is that we live in a social media world where we are more intertwined with each other than ever before, but we've stopped actually connecting with each other, haven't we? It's like we took the curtains down and everybody gets to look in each other's windows. So we're vaguely aware of what everyone's doing. That's why people have such a longing to connect with others more than at any other point in our society. I just want to give you guys an example. How many of you have ever received a really great card from somebody that you care about for a special occasion, or maybe for no reason at all? And in the card was a handwritten message that really moved you, touched your heart, moved you emotionally. Let me see your hands if you've ever received something like that. Okay. Hopefully everybody, if you've never received a card like that, please put your address in the chat and we'll write you a card so you have one. We'll make it a really good one. Okay. But seriously, when you get a card like that and you read it and you have that emotional response, how many of you are able to go, okay, that was nice, and then crumble it up and just toss it in the trash can? Let me see hands of anyone who throws those cards in the trash. Do you guys save them, end up saving them somewhere? You have like a pile of them somewhere, or a special box full of cards, right? We all do that. We all do that. In fact, a lot of times when we pass away, those letters and cards are what are treasured by our family. They're kept. Do any of you have a letter or card that belonged to a loved one of yours who's passed that you treasure? Absolutely. We all do. It has a lingering value, doesn't it? Now, on the flip side, who's ever received one of these? This is a birthday postcard that I received from my life insurance salesperson. Have you guys ever got one of these? Mary's laughing at me. Or maybe your dentist, right? My dog gets them sometimes from the vet. Do you guys save this in the special place? How many throw these away as soon as you get them? These go right in the trash, don't they? I always joke about this. Do you think my kids will be using this as the bookmark in their Bible after I'm gone? Probably not. This is trash. What's the difference? It's a happy birthday card, right? Okay, so this is just to kind of illustrate the point on my principle. Investing time and connecting with people is how you deepen a relationship. This took no time, right? It's a bulk mailing, probably done on a website, done once and forget about it, right? It's not personal. It's not connecting with me. My name's not even on this card. It doesn't say, "Dear Eric." It just says, "Here's another great year of you." Right? It's not personal, and it required no time. It has no value. The handwritten card required a dedication of personal time. It was a message specifically to you. We value that so much, we can't part with it. Our family values it so much, they can't part with it. This is trash. Now, do you think, ironically, my insurance person's name is Eric. Do you think Eric gets an occasional insurance policy from blasting these cards out? Probably. It's the same reason why people do blast emails and do, right there, you get some result from those things. But I want you guys to know, when you're focusing in on building relationships, you have to connect and you have to invest time. Make sense? Now, you don't need to write cards all day long. That's not what I'm telling you, though you should do that whenever you can find a reason to. Whenever you can find a reason to. But even just reaching out via Facebook Messenger or text message or whatever, direct message service you use, just connecting with somebody one-on-one for a couple of seconds is enough to make their day. And it's something that will make you stand out from the crowd. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do today in Teamzy, is how to leverage just a little bit of time and personal connection to build relationships in a meaningful way that will fill your pipeline with leads as well in your business. Okay. So there's the principle. Make sure you write that one down. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. I want to talk to you real quick about, here's the concept. You guys, how many of you like what you've heard so far? You're like, yeah, philosophy is great. But that's not enough. You need a system. You got to have a system. You got to have a system. You need a way to stay in contact with all of your relationships. Okay, all of them. Know when to contact them and when not to. In other words, I don't want you spending a lot of time thinking and planning. Just want something that you can just jump into and start connecting. Know what you're going to say so you don't have to stare at your screen all day thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to say to this person? How many of you do that? So we're going to help you with that. We're going to just help you quickly connect, and then make sure that nobody falls through the cracks. This is the biggest problem in our business. We work so hard to get people excited, and then we let them fall through the crack. Right now, it's about 80% of the qualified leads in our business are wasted. That's crazy, right? Okay. So let me show you the system that we built for you to do this. Okay, here we go. Teamzy. First off, I want you guys to know you can go to teamzy.com and start a free trial. It's 30 days for free. We don't charge, we don't ask for your credit card. We don't do anything weird like that. You have full access for 30 days. There is a specialized custom Optavia version, okay, for you to use. So if you haven't already started trying out Teamzy, go to teamzy.com and start a free trial. Okay, it's 30 days free. All right. When you first come into the free trial, it'll take you into the setup wizard. The setup wizard is designed for people like me who aren't real techie to make it really easy. Let me actually show you that real quick. I should have launched that. So the setup wizard looks like this. There's a familiar looking guy. He's going to welcome you and explain a little bit. Okay. The first thing we're going to do in setup is we're going to set your income goal. Teamzy will take your income goal and tell you what to do every day to hit it. Now, we have a system. Remember, I told you we've had 80,000 people use Teamzy over the last 3.5 years. We know exactly what will happen if you do the work, okay? So this is a little slider. You just slide it. What's the goal that you want for yourself? Where do you want to be a year from now? What's your annual income level going to be? Now, I had set my goal for 150,000, right? At the time that I jumped into this business, that was my annual salary. I just wanted to replace it so I could build from there. So that was my goal. Now you can see at $150,000 income, I need to connect with 9 pre-clients, 6 clients, and 4 coaches every day. Okay. By the way, pre-clients, I don't know if you define it this way. The way I would define that group is if they're not a client or a coach, that's everybody else on the planet. Are you with me? Okay. And even if they are somebody who is like the model of fitness and health, they are absolutely worth connecting with because they know people who need your help. Okay. Remember, the goal is advocates. It's building advocates. Okay. So this tells me what to do. If I make it smaller, I have to do less. If I make it bigger, I have to do more. Make sense? So what's your goal? Put it in here and then click continue. So now the last step is just getting all your contacts into Teamzy. We want to get them into one place so that you can be organized. No more looking for the pad of paper where you wrote down somebody's name and number, or the sticky note system that you tried, or anybody ever do the index card system? It's like a little recipe box with names. Or don't do any of that. Okay, let's put it all in Teamzy in one place, organized. It lives in the cloud, which means if you've got your phone nearby, you've got Teamzy, you've got your list. You can add people in. It's always with you. Does it make sense? How many of you have your mobile phone within 5 feet of you right now? You always do. You always have it. You don't have to look for pads of paper. Your phone's always in your hand. So what you're going to do is these buttons here is just some like quick tutorials and things on how to do stuff. Okay. How to get you can get all your Facebook friends into Teamzy, which is kind of cool, all at once. And you're going to get everybody in there. Okay. We'll skip that part.
Hey, Eric, can I interrupt for just a second? The Optavia thing that you have for our back office needs to be updated. So if you want to make a note on that, we changed back offices, and we did one on our Facebook page. So if you guys are on our Facebook page, you can see that. But Eric, I forgot to tell you that.
Okay. Can you get me that information? We'll update it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah. Just give me the updated steps and we'll update it. Easy peasy. Great. I don't have access to your back office, so I rely on leaders like you to help me. Okay, great. Where was I? So just so you guys know too, if you have any troubles with anything like this, our team is here to help you. You don't have to be good at this stuff. You can just click this help button and ask for help. We'll answer any question. We can help you with your imports. If you need it, you can even schedule a one-on-one. See this right here where it says schedule a one-on-one? You can actually go in here and schedule a one-on-one with one of our team. They'll go via Zoom and walk you through the whole thing, okay? If you wish, you can even grant them access to your computer remotely and they'll do it all for you. You just watch, basically, and get them started. So I don't want anybody who's intimidated by technology. We'll get you through that part, no problem. And then once it's set up, it's so easy to use, you're gonna be rocking. Okay. So what we're gonna do now, actually I have one more thing I wanna show you for setup before we do our power hour. Notice how each person on my list has a number next to their name. This is their star rank. You know when you rank like a pizza or a movie, you give it 5 stars or 4 stars or 3 stars? We're going to rank relationships the same way in Teamzy. This is how the system can intelligently build your lists. Okay, once you've ranked people, it can intelligently build lists for you. You never have to think or plan or wonder who should I connect with today. It's all done automatically. Let me show you how to do it. We're going to go to the team page. The team page is where your whole list lives. Look, everybody's there. Okay. And we're going to toggle on the rank mode. This lets me see everybody's rank at a glance. You see that? And I can go down my list quickly. Notice how just about everybody's a 3-star. That's because when you put people in Teamzy, they're all going to be 3-star. And then you can go in and change them. This is because 90% of your list will be 3-star. That's just the way it is. You won't have to change most of them. Make sense? But let me explain how this works. A 5-star person is somebody that's most likely to become a client or a coach, or they're an existing client or coach that's a rock star. 5-star people are your best friends, your closest family. They show up on your list every 30 days. Every 30 days, you get a reminder, hey, go connect with that person, make their day. Okay? And I just want to make that clear. That's all we want you to do is just to connect and make their day. You're not trying to cold invite or try to sell them on that first connect. You're just saying hello, trying to get a smile and maybe start a conversation. 4-star people, this is someone likely to become a client or a coach with a little bit of nurturing, right? They may already be on your team or be a client, but they're like your solid people. They're also 4-stars. These are your friends and family, just not your closest circle. 4-star people, they're going to come up every 60 days. So 5-stars came up every 30 days. 4-stars come up on your list every 60 days. So every 60 days, you're connecting with these people. 3-stars could go either way, which is why most of your list will be 3-star. You don't know yet until you start connecting with them. They show up every 90 days. They just cycle through every 90 days. So you connect with them, they come back automatically in 90 days. You don't have to set a follow-up or remember or anything. They'll just come back. You won't lose anybody. Okay? 2-stars is every 120 days. So the more stars, the more often they come up. The less stars, the less often they come up. Make sense? So as you're going down your list, if you see somebody like Luis, let's say he should be a 4-star, you just click it. Now he's a 4-star. Okay? You see somebody that shouldn't be, you want to get them down lower, 2-star, whatever. You go down your list. You don't just go through it quickly and try to pick out your best people to start out. Okay? It's really important that you don't skip this step because when you get started with Teamzy, you want to start with the people who already trust you the most. Does that make sense? You want to start with them first. You don't want them to just wait for them to come up randomly. So now that I've got my list ranked, I'm now ready to use Teamzy. I've set it up. I never have to think or plan ever again. I never have to set it up again. I just turn it on each day and do what it tells me to do. Okay? This is the beauty of the system. You know exactly what to do towards your goal. You don't have to think about it. And you know when you're finished, which is cool. So let's do a power hour. Here's my dashboard. If you guys see right here where it says today's activities, these are the goals that we set with that income goal. In my case, it's connect with 9 pre-clients, 6 clients, and 4 coaches. That's 19 people. Honestly, I can do that in 15 minutes. I'll show you in a second. And there's a couple other goals I haven't talked about yet. This one is invites. So my goal is to invite 3 people a day. Invite is when I actually invite somebody to join the business or invite somebody to try the products, or invite them to an event, or invite them to lunch or something like that to learn more. An invite is specific to building my business as opposed to a connect, which is just connecting with people, building relationships, okay? I'm gonna connect in this example with 19 people a day. My goal is out of those 19 connects, I create 3 opportunities to invite people who are interested in learning more. See, I don't believe in inviting people who have no interest. That just alienates our friends. First, let's have a conversation. Let's find out where there's some interest. You'll get plenty of people that way. Okay, the next goal was ads. These are just new people I'm adding to the list. You can see I've got 1 person added today. That was Mike. I added him to my list. Your goal is to be adding people constantly. Even if you already know a lot of people, you just want to get in the habit of adding people, fresh relationships. It just adds energy to your business. Okay. So those are our goals. And this will read out kind of our score as we go. Now, write down a little lower. See where it says power hours? Power hour. This is the module where we do our work. This little area here is designed to let you do this incredibly efficiently and quickly without thinking or getting overwhelmed. So look, on the left side, I've got my lists: pre-clients, clients, coaches, and follow-ups. Okay? Each list gives me 5 names at a time. That's it. That keeps me focused. If I give you 10, you would start with number 3 and number 7, right? So we want to keep you focused. And the right-hand side is where you log the information as you go, so you don't have to come back later and do homework. Pretty cool, right? So let's go ahead and do this. First person on my list is Jay. I'm going to message her. I'm going to use, as an example, Facebook to send my messages, okay? So I'm going to use Facebook, but you can communicate however you want and log it in Teamzy, text message, phone, whatever. You can see if you can log anything, okay? Lots of options. I personally like to use Facebook Messenger a lot because the response rate is through the moon compared to everything else. So, okay, so there's Jay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to message her. This is where I used to get stuck. What the heck am I going to say to Jay? Maybe I haven't talked to her since high school. How am I going to reconnect with her? Anyone struggle with this? We all do. So here's what I want you to know. I've been at this a long time. We've worked at this and figured out what works best. And we just put the scripts in Teamzy for you to help you, just icebreakers. Okay. The truth is, the simpler, the better when making contact with people. So right here, see where it says scripts right there in the middle of that connect box? I'm going to click on that and just grab a script. I'll grab the first one on the list. Connect number 1. Here's the script. It says, "Hi, Jane. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome." Super simple. Okay. This little script works amazing. I'm going to copy that script. It's done. I clicked on the copy script button. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it in here and just edit it a little. Obviously her name's not Jane. That's like a sample name, right? And maybe put some emoticons in there. I love emoticons. Let's see. You get the idea. A couple of emoticons, make it friendly. Now that I have the script just the way I want it to use, I'm going to actually send it in Facebook. Now, to send a message in Facebook, you have to copy and paste it in Facebook. Facebook doesn't allow us to send anything on their behalf, but it's super easy to do. I look her up. There she is, Jay. We'll send her the message. Okay. I paste it right in there. Look, send, done. Message is sent. Now I log it in Teamzy. That was a Facebook message. See the blue button that says log connect? That's how you log the connect. Simple. You click it. It's gone. Look, it says connect logged. Look over here. I've got one done now, and that little blue circle is starting to fill in. Next person on my list is Mike. I'm not going to overthink this. I'm just going to use that same script. I'm just going to paste it right in. It's still on my clipboard and just change the name. Boom. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you doing? How are you? Hope your day's awesome. So simple. Okay. There he is. Do you guys see how easy this is? Now I'm going to log that one in Teamzy. Done. 2 done, 7 left. I'm going to just keep going down my list. Just going to keep going down my list. Now, a couple things will happen. First off, some people will respond immediately. And I don't want you to run off and have a conversation with them right now because it will distract you from getting all your messages out. Okay. So stay focused and get all your messages out to finish your power hour. And then you can have the conversations that you're beginning. That's the first thing I want to teach you. The second thing is this: half the people you message won't respond at all. By the way, a 50% response rate is amazing. Okay. However, just so you know, if you're using like email, your response rate will go down to single digits. Okay, email's not the best way to reach out to people. So make sure you're texting or messaging on Facebook, things like that, so that you can get a better response rate. But for the people who don't respond to you, here's my advice for them: don't give them a second thought. You don't need to worry, why aren't they responding to me? Should I set a follow-up? Should I circle back next week and ask if they got my message? Don't worry about them. They're in Teamzy now. They're going to come back automatically 30, 60, 90 days in the future. Do not even worry about them. Every time you message them, you're getting them closer to a conversation. Don't spend any time on them. I guarantee you, you will be so busy talking to the people who respond, you don't need to worry about them. Does it make sense? So we're going to go through and just keep messaging. In the beginning, you can just use the same script over and over and over again. It's so basic that even if 2 people get it, they don't even realize it. It's just a hello script. Okay. So we're going to go down the list, boom, 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 until we get our 9 done for the day. That was our goal. This circle will go all the way blue. And then we go to the next list, which is clients. These are our clients. Okay. You're just going to reach out and stay in touch with them. Just connect with them. Okay. Again, Luis is up first. Let me go to scripts and just get something I can send him. Here, look, congratulations on great results. Jane, you're doing so great. I'm proud of you. Congratulations on. Okay. So maybe Luis lost some weight. Is that possible? What do you guys think? Is that possible? So I go in here. This is just such a simple one. Luis, you're doing great. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on losing 10 pounds. Okay. some emoticons, go up, send them the message, log it in Teamzy. Super simple. Just staying in touch with people. Okay. I might go to Claire, get a different script. I might just get my favorite one for customers, which is this one. Just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Okay. Stay in touch with your customers. We're going to do the same thing, guys. We're going to go down the list of clients. The goal in this case was 6. I'm going to message the first 6 people on my list, just a nice little message to stay in touch with them. Okay. You don't really need a complicated system to stay in touch with your clients. Just put them in Teamzy and stay in touch with them. Now, a couple of magical things happen when you do that. See, you'll hear a lot of trainers talking about prospecting, and it's super important. But staying in touch with customers is equally as important. Okay. First off, going back to your character, it's good service, right? It's good service. But the second thing that happens is when you're in regular contact with customers, they order more product and they retain longer. Okay. They order more product and they retain longer. This is a statistical fact. When you as a team start using Teamzy, you'll see team volume go up because people, when you're just because you're present, they'll order more. Okay. The next thing that happens when you're in touch regularly with customers, how many of you have at least 1 or 2 great customers that you love working with? Okay, good. Would you like some more like that? Would you like some more people like that? Yeah. Where do you get them? Is there a special, does Optavia have a special website where they just throw up people for you to snag and have as customer? No, they don't, right? Here's the thing. The best place to find a great new customer is from your current customer. Okay? The best place to find a new customer is from a current customer. I just want you guys to know, if those of you who raised your hands, you have everything you need to build a huge business. You don't need anything else because people refer people. Look, people who love a product, what do? They talk about it, right? All human beings do this. We share what's good. So that means that your customer, by the way, when you raise your hand and you thought of a specific person, think of that specific person right now. Right now, that person is talking about Optavia with their friends. Okay? Did you know that in North America, 86%, when polled, 86% of people said that they make their purchasing decisions based on the recommendation of a friend. So what's going on? Your customers are talking to their friends. Those friends are very likely to be customers too. The step 1 to getting introduced to those people is being in touch with your customers. You can't get introduced if you're not in touch. Could those people Google Optavia and figure out how to buy it without talking to you? Yep, it might have already happened. Stay in touch with your customers. Then as you build a relationship with them, you can just ask them, Rebecca, you're getting great results. Have you talked about Optavia with any of your friends? Is there anybody you care about that needs more information on this? Yeah, my friend Lori does. We were talking about last week. Awesome. Would you introduce me to Lori? I'll get her some more information. We can see if we can help her. Get introduced. Okay? Get introduced to the people they're talking to. Step 1, got to be in touch. Okay? You with me? Teamzy makes that easy for you. Now, once you've connected with your clients for the day, then go to your coaches and build the relationships with your team. Just, hey, how are you? Just checking in. Is there anything I can do to help you? You know, how's everything going? Do you need help with anything? Congratulations on your first customer. Awesome. Whatever. Quick messages. Your team, guys, as you build your team, they need that relationship with you. It's not enough just to have a Facebook page or do Zoom calls. They need that personal relationship with you, especially as your team grows. And as your team gets bigger, by the way, those connects become even more valuable to people. So keep that in mind. We name this Teamzy because the focus is on building your team so that you can build your business and then your life. Make sense? Pre-clients, clients, coaches. That's the first half of your power hour. You just reach out to whoever's next. Use my scripts to help you get started so you don't overthink. Okay? This might take you 30 minutes in the beginning. You'll get even faster over time as you get used to this. By the way, Teamzy is fully mobile, so you can use it on your phone too, just so you guys know you don't have to be at your computer all the time. Okay. The last list in your power hour are your follow-ups. When you get to follow-ups, you'll find they're empty. Follow-ups are not automatic in Teamzy. You have to set them. Okay. Now let me just clarify something because a lot of people use the word follow-ups when they really mean connects. This makes sense? A follow-up means you're following up on an offer. Okay? A follow-up is when you're following up on an offer. A connect is when you're checking in with somebody to say hello and build the relationship. They're different. Teamzy keeps them different. So we're cycling through the connects, pre-clients, clients, and coaches, staying in touch, building relationships, being present for people, being available when they need you. A follow-up is when we've now invited them to join us, or invited them to learn more, or invited them to try products. Now we're going to follow up with them. Does this make sense? So let me show you how we do it in Teamzy. It's really easy. I messaged Mike. We're connecting. We're catching up on each other's life. You know, he's like, oh, great, good to hear from you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, well, what are you up to? Do you have any big plans for the summer? Like, we're just chit-chatting, trying to reconnect. I'm trying to get a conversation going with him, right? First off, I want you guys to know you're not going to get a great conversation going with everybody, and that's okay. Some people, it's going to die off really quick. And over time, you might have a great conversation because they'll cycle back on Teamzy, okay? But remember, my goal was out of 19 to have 3 good ones, okay? So let's say Mike and I are having a good conversation. We're catching up. We're going back and forth. He's telling me about his family and what he's up to for the summer, right? I'm asking questions. My goal is to find a way to help Mike. When anyone I'm talking to, my goal is to find a way to help them any way I can. It might not have anything to do with the business. He might have a cracked swimming pool. I don't know. We're in the pool constantly right now because it's summer. Maybe he has a cracked swimming pool and I know somebody who can fix it. I'm going to send him that person's information. It could be anything. I'm listening for something in the conversation, some way to help him, some way to invest in him. Now, I'm going to, in this conversation, when you're catching up with somebody, he's going to tell me about his life. I'm going to tell him about my life. That makes sense, right? It's called the law of reciprocity. I'm going to tell him what's going on in my life. What about you, Eric? What are you up to? Oh my gosh. I don't think I've talked to you in ages, but did you know that I left my corporate career 4 years ago? You did? What are you doing? I have my own home-based business now. It's awesome. Really, what do you do? I help people lose weight and get healthy. And I'll tell my story. This is why I'm doing it and why I'm so passionate about it. And some of you are looking at me like, that sounds so easy. It is. I want you guys to know what you need to be sharing in conversations, and write this down if you're taking notes. You need to be sharing what you do and why you're passionate about it. What's the problem you solve? What you do and why you're passionate about it. Personally, I lost 62 pounds. Changed my life. Seriously, I felt like I was 20 years younger. And now I'm on a mission to help other people do the same. It's been the most fulfilling work ever. And I get to be with my family. I get to be with my kids. And I've partnered with this amazing company, Optavia, because they have the science, they have the know-how, they have the experience, they've helped this many people. This is what I have found is the best tool to achieve my mission, which is helping as many people with this problem as I can. Do you guys see how just describing it like that is a little different than trying to pitch somebody? It's certainly better than going, hey, Eric, you know, it looks like you might have a few pounds to lose. You know, I can help you with that. How's that work? That doesn't work, right? Share what you do and why you're passionate about it. What's the problem you solve? Don't be afraid to tell people that it's Optavia. That's the best part. Just a little side note on this, because this is one of the things that drives me nuts, is that people hide that from people because they're afraid it's going to turn them off. How many of you are guilty of doing that at least once? Let me just ask you a question. If you had an electrical light shorting out in your house, how many of you would call an electrician? Right? You'd call an electrician to solve an electrical problem. Would you call somebody who had some sort of did some sort of vague thing with energy issues, coaching? I'm an energy coach. Would that do it for you? No. You know, look, my problem is electrical. I need somebody who solves that problem. Can you do that? Yes, you're hired. Come to fix my problem for me. You're in the business of helping people get healthy and lose weight. That's the problem you solve. Everybody should know that. If I'm an electrician, you have an electrical problem, you say, hey, call my friend Eric. That's the problem he solves. Where I'm trying to get you guys to in your business is creating an army of advocates who know the problem you solve. And when they come across people who need help with it, they say, you should talk to my friend Eric. That's the problem he solves. He helps people with this. You guys with me? So, okay, sorry, that was a long rant for me to show you how to do a follow-up in Teamzy, which by the way is very easy. So Mike and I are talking. I'm telling him my passion, what I'm doing and why I'm passionate about it. His response, no matter what he thinks about the company, is good on you, Eric. Good for you, Eric. That's great. Nobody can say no to your passion. This is my passion. It's good for you, Eric. That's great. I'm glad you're doing that. Good. Okay, great. That's just where I want him to be. Now I can ask him the question, hey, would you like more information about what I'm doing? How about you? Are you interested in learning more about it? He could say yes or no, right? The thing is he and I have had a great conversation. I've told him what I do. I've asked him if he wants more information or if he's interested in learning more. He could say no. No, I don't. I'm not. Good for you, Eric. I'm glad you're doing it, but I'm not interested in that right now. No worries. Hey, Mike, it was great talking to you today. He'll be like, oh, yeah, it was great talking to you too. Could you do me a favor though? If you do come across anybody who needs help with this, would you please introduce us so I can get them some more information? I'm on a mission to help as many people as I can. You know what he's going to say? Sure, I'll do that. What have I just done in this conversation? I've reconnected with an old friend. I've told him exactly what I do and why I'm passionate about it, what the problem I solve is, and I've asked him to be on alert for people who need help with that solution. Is that a win? That's what a rejection feels like in Teamzy. Pretty awesome. I've started training him to be my advocate. Now he says, man, I would like to learn more about what you're doing. I hate my boss. I don't want to be working there anymore. I'd like to have an income for myself. Great. Now I'm going to invite him to something and put him on my follow-ups list. Okay? Let me show you how to do it. I'm giving you guys a little extra juice because Mike's been crushing it in my boot camp. Okay, so look, first off, Mike's no longer on my dashboard because I've already connected with him. He's kind of in the ether right now on his recycling Teamzy. So I got to look him up in the lookup bar to find his profile. There he is. That brings me to his full profile in Teamzy. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to click connect, and that opens the connect box on his record. See right here on the bottom left where it says invite? I'm going to click this. I'm going to take it off connect, which is the default, and I'm going to now log an invite. So let's say we're talking to him, and I'm talking to him via Facebook Messenger. He'd like some more information. Great. Let's jump on a Zoom. Hey, let's jump on a Zoom call and talk a little bit more so we can go a little deeper. We're not messaging. Okay, great. So I'm going to click that. Okay. And I'm just going to put on here that I'm going to do that I'm giving him the business opportunity talk. Whatever your notes are, right? Great. So now I'm having the Zoom call with him, and I'm going to set a follow-up. See where it says right here in 2 days? This is the follow-up. I'm going to actually do it tomorrow. You can set a follow-up for any date in the future. There's some easy ones you can just grab quick, or you can go to a custom date, set it for any date in the future. But I'm going to put a follow-up on here for tomorrow, and I'm just going to leave a note that it's on the business opportunity. Whatever the note is on the follow-up. Look, so I'm just going to log this in Teamzy because we're talking. He's interested in more. We're going to jump on a Zoom right now, and I want to make sure I have a follow-up saved. Now, when I go to my dashboard, you guys can see that on my follow-ups list, there he is, due for tomorrow. Okay? Make sense? Now he's on my follow-ups list. So as I'm talking to him on the Zoom and we're going over things and I'm sharing information with him, he's got a lot to think about, right? So I'm going to tell him, you know what I'm going to do is, take a look at this. I'll probably send him some more information via email. I'll connect with you tomorrow, Mike, and see if you have any questions. Sound good? Perfect. Great. So tomorrow, when I do my power hour, everyone, I connect with my pre-clients, my clients, my coaches, and then I go to my follow-ups list and see if I have any follow-ups due today. Oh, look, Mike Harrison's due. How do I do this? Exactly like a connect. I'm going to go to scripts, okay? And I'm going to get a follow-up script. By the way, my 10 follow-up scripts are in Teamzy in order for you to use. So I'm going to grab follow-up number 1. Here's the script. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Let's use it. Okay, copy it. Change the name to Mike. Super simple, right? There's Mike. We're going to send him the message. Boom, follow-up done. Super easy. Follow-up's done. So I'm going to log it in Teamzy. Before I hit log connect though, I'm going to set a new follow-up. Let's follow up in a couple days. Okay, so I can keep him on my follow-ups list. And I'm just going to leave a note to myself that next time I want to use follow-up number 2. So I don't have to think. When I see it on the list, follow-up number 2, boom, I just send follow-up number 2. Super easy, right? So when I come back there, see it says next follow-up number 2. So I'll just grab the next one and send it. So grab the next one and send it. Is that easy? Okay. Let me talk to you real quick. How am I doing on time? Okay, I'm getting there. Let me talk to you real quick on follow-ups. How many of you have heard people say that the fortunes in the follow-up, it's all about follow-ups? Probably more than you want to hear. I'm going to give you a statistic that you guys need to write down. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and the 10th follow-up. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and the 10th follow-up. How many of you are like, ugh? Let me just see. Does anyone who follows up now typically consistently 10 times whenever they have somebody that's expressed some interest? Don't feel bad. Nobody raises their hand. Usually, unless they've been through boot camp, then sometimes they do. But that's because I've beaten them into submission for 12 weeks. Okay. Here's the thing I want you guys to know. Let me see your hands if you're in this business because you truly believe you can change lives through with what you're doing. Okay, good. All right, so I'm talking to you guys. You raise your hands because you're my people. I know why you don't follow up 10 times. Okay, it's because you're worried about being an annoying pest that people hate. Let me see your hands if that's you. Yes. Okay. I'm going to teach you how to not be annoying when you follow up right now. Okay, cool. But before I do it, I want to change your mindset. You will all raise your hands about wanting to change lives. Here's how I'm going to restate that statistic for you in a different way. 80% of the people that you could help, you won't help unless you follow up 7 to 10 times. 80% of the people you could help, you won't help unless you follow up 7 to 10 times. See, I want you guys to understand. Let's just live in that moment of love where you want to help people. Following up is an act of love. Okay, this is a mantra I want you to take into your hearts. Following up is an act of love. Write it down, put it somewhere where you can see it. Following up is an act of love. This is how you actively love the people that you want to help. You follow up with them. By the way, failing to follow up, stopping after 3 or 4 follow-ups, communicates to people that you didn't care about them to begin with. That's what they feel. And think about it. When somebody failed to follow up enough with you, didn't you feel that way? I guess they didn't really care about helping me. They were irritated and get paid, so they moved on, right? Isn't that the kind of thing you think? All right. So you need to follow up 7 to 10 times with most people. 80% of the people, just so you know, will not respond to anything until about 5, 6, maybe even 7 follow-ups. They won't even respond once. How many of you have had somebody who you felt pretty good about, and then you got nothing but crickets when you followed up with them? That's normal. That's completely and totally normal. So I'm going to teach you real quick how to follow up 7, 10 times where people thank you for it and they're excited about it and they're never irritated. You guys ready? There's 2 principles. By the way, you can use my scripts in Teamzy. There's 10 of them and they follow these principles already. Okay, so you don't even have to think. The first principle is this: when you're following up so that you're not annoying, never ask someone to do anything. Don't ask them to do anything in the follow-up, right? Don't ask them to call you, message you, RSVP for your event. Don't ask them to do anything. As soon as they have something to do, they're irritated. Okay? Number 2, the number 2 principle, follow-ups always need to be able to be read. They have to be able to read them. Okay? Because we can scan a message instantly with our eyes. Okay? So they have to be able to read it. No voice messages, no voice mails. Those are the worst. No video messages. Okay? They have to be able to read them. And your follow-up has to be short enough they can read the entire thing without opening it. Okay? Now think about it. You get a message from somebody and you're busy. This happens all the time. You're in the middle of something. You get the message and it's like a voicemail. Ugh, now I got to open my phone and listen to it. I can't do that right now. Or if it's a voice message on Facebook, oh my gosh, how annoying. My kids are screaming. How could I possibly listen to this right now? However, if you send a message that's short and sweet, and they can see it on their screen. No matter how busy they are, they'll look down and get it. They'll look down and get it. And that's all you want. All you want is for them to see it. That's it. It doesn't matter if they open it. Doesn't matter if they respond to it. They just need to see it. Because every time they see that message from you, they reconnect to the emotion they felt when you presented the business or the products to them, even for a split second. And that's where you want them to live. Every few days, they live there for a split second. Over time, they will respond. Okay? This works. The system works 100% of the time. What will happen is after about 6 or 7 follow-ups, you'll get a message back for the first time in many cases that says, I'm so sorry I haven't responded to your messages. Thank you so much for following up. Okay? Because by then they're going to understand this person really cares. All right? Does this make sense? So the way your power hour looks in Teamzy, and then we're going to open this up for questions. You come in every morning, you turn on Teamzy. Whatever your goal is, you connect with your pre-clients, send out those messages, then your clients, then your coaches, and then anyone on your follow-ups list that's due, you send them the next follow-up. Okay? That's the process of your power hour each day. Now, what will happen is you will create a lot of conversations. So what I recommend you do is you set aside a little bit of time in your day where you will connect, you will have all those conversations that you've started. Okay? So just to give you an example, when I started my business, I still had a full-time corporate job. And so I would take half of my lunch hour, I'd go out to my car, and I would message people. Because I did my power hour before work in the morning. And then by lunch, I had all the responses. I would go respond to people at my lunch break. And then in the evening after dinner and I put my little ones to bed, I would also have some time blocked where I would message people. Okay, so I recommend that you set aside a little time to message people. Otherwise, you'll probably end up like I did sometimes till my wife would remind me not to. I would be on my phone all day long messaging people. Okay? And so as somebody who is a professional business coach, my wife would say, honey, how would you coach yourself if you had a client on their phone all day long? Time block. That's right. Now go time block. So I highly recommend that. So that's how you do your power hour. Okay? It's really simple. And then as people convert, you just move them over from pre-client over to client or over to coach, boom, and then they live on that new list where you'll continue to build the relationship that just will be on a different list. Make sense? Okay, so let's take some questions. I know I gave you a ton of information already, but if you have some questions, oh wait, actually I'm gonna take questions in a second. First I gotta give you action steps. I gotta give you your action steps, then I'll take some questions. So let me give you your action steps real quick, and then you guys can unmute as you go and do questions for me. All right, let me give you these. Where's my action steps? Here it is. Okay. I hit the play button. Here we go. First action step, go to teamzy.com, get your 30-day free trial started. Okay, that's a no-brainer. It's free for 30 days. I give you a full month because I know you can generate sales if you apply yourself during that month. And then you're going to be in love and you'll want to be my customer forever, and I get to be part of your success story. If you're already in the free trial, I recommend you go ahead and set up your subscription. We won't actually bill you until the 30 days is done, the free time, but then you won't miss a beat, okay, when your free trial ends. Otherwise, what happens at the end of your 30-day free trial is you lose access to your account until you go in and set up a subscription. Okay. Oh, that was weird. Crashed. Did it crash? I lost my screen there for a second. Okay. Second action step is choose a 30-day success partner to do the free trial with you. Listen, let's be honest. Some of you are going to sign up for that free trial and never log in, not do anything with it, right? I'm guilty of that myself. But if you get somebody to say, hey, let's do this together. Let's try this out together. Let's hold each other accountable. You'll get so much more done. The accountability is huge. By the way, you could even get 2 success partners. Groups of 3 work really great. And what I recommend you do with the success partner is share with them, what are your daily goals? Hey, my goal is, 9 pre-clients, 5 clients, 2 coaches, whatever. Share with them your daily goal. And then each day when you complete your Teamzy Power Hour, take a screenshot of your Teamzy dashboard completed and message it to your partner or partners. Okay? You will have the best month of your business if you do it that way. What happens is, let's say you had a really crazy busy day and you didn't do anything today in your business. And then about 8 o'clock at night, you get a message, with that completed dashboard from your partner. It motivates you to just get your phone out and quickly finish yours. Make sense? Whereas you would not have done it that day. And if that happens of a couple times a week to you because of the success partner, think about what your month will look like. Does this make sense? Okay. The last action step I'm going to give you is a 5-day challenge. I challenge you to use Teamzy 5 days in a row. 5 days in a row. And over those 5 days, connect with 100 people. That's 20 a day. You can seriously do that in less than 30 minutes, easy. But I want you to do 20 a day for 5 days in a row. And it doesn't have to be pre-clients. It can be a combination of clients and coaches and pre-clients, just 20 people, okay? Why do I want you to do that? Because it's going to blow your mind. You guys are going to be amazed at how much momentum you can create in your business in just 5 days. You will not believe the stories you've told yourself ever again that nothing's happening in your business. Now you'll see what you can do in 5 days. It changes everything. Also, you won't buy into those excuses from your team members. You'll be like, nope, do the 5-day challenge. Let's get some things going. Let's get a bunch of conversations started. Make sense? Who's in for the 5-day challenge? Let me see your hands. Public accountability. There you go. A couple of you are like, it's okay. It's all good. As long as you get it up there. Look, it's just 5 days of your life. You can do this. You can do this. Okay, you guys got those action steps? So let's take some questions. If you have any questions, all you need to do is unmute yourself, ask away. I'm happy to answer them.
Hey, Eric, this is Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Hello. I've been using Teamzy for a little while now. So when a person responds to my initial message, say that I sent a, hey, just wanted to make sure you had a marvelous Monday, whatever, and they respond back, like, how do I know? Where do I put that? Do I count it as a new contact? Do I go back into Teamzy then? And like, because I don't want to forget that they responded back.
Yes. You don't have to log all the back and forth in Teamzy. So
Okay.
as far as what you log in Teamzy, you want to log that initial connect.
Okay.
And then if you end up inviting them or putting them on a follow-ups list, you want to log that. But otherwise, just let them, let's say they're 5-star, just let that connect. Now they're out 30 days to the next time they come up again. So what I would do is, because in the beginning, I tried to log all the back and forth. You don't want to log it as a connect because that messes up your stats. You could paste the conversation into the original connect as an edit, but that's a lot of work, you guys. And what happens is, if you're spending all the time logging back and forth, you kind of lose the momentum of what you're supposed to be doing, which is initiating contact with people. So a couple of things I did to kind of manage it for me, like I mentioned before, I primarily used Facebook Messenger to connect with people. So if somebody messaged me back, I would make sure to leave that message marked as unread, just like you can do on an email, right? You can mark it as unread. And then when I had my time set aside to message people, I would sort my messenger by unread, and I had all the responses. That's how I kept those active conversations going. If I happen to lose one in the shuffle, they're in Teamzy and they show up again in a month or two, and I just restart it then. Does this make sense?
Okay. Yeah, totally. Thank you.
So
I have to tell you a big aha moment I had with this whole thing, because in our coaching company and in our training, we're always trained to, don't hit send unless there's a question mark at the end of, you always ask a question and keep the conversation going. And I said to my husband, I'm like, what do you mean I'm just supposed to go in there and make their day? Like, I'm not supposed to ask them. I've been trained and like hardwired to do that because that's how you keep the conversation going. He's like, Karen, they're going to pop back up into Teamzy anyway. Yeah. Anyway, so it was really hard for me not to ask a question or to ask something of them. Well, yeah, it was really weird,
but you do want to ask questions like, how are you?
True.
Or what have you been
but
up
not
to?
Like, yeah. I mean, not intentionally try to keep that conversation going. It's okay to let it kind of drop, yes. Because I've got 10 other people I need to start conversations with. And he said, trust Teamzy that they'll bring them back up around. So anyway,
that is a big
thing. Had to unlearn a little bit.
It's good because some conversations do fizzle out naturally, don't they? Yeah. And you don't need to feel the pressure to resurrect them every time. Okay, so that's an important thing. That's good. But definitely do ask questions. Try to engage them. I have people edit my scripts and they're like, no one's responding. And then I looked and I said, you took the how are you part out of the script. So you said, hope you're having a great day. They said, thanks. You got to leave the little how are you so they can say, oh, I'm great. Because then you can say, oh, well, what have you been up to? Send me an update. Tell me what you're doing this summer. Are you doing anything special for the 4th of July? What are you guys up to? You can ask questions that are easy to answer and talk about, right? What I don't want you guys doing is, if you Google like, because I teach the form, family, occupation, recreation, and motivation type questions. Don't Google that, because they'll ask questions like, if money was not an object, what would you be doing with your life? It's like, I haven't talked to you since high school. Why are you asking me these strange questions, right? Just ask me how I'm doing. Have a conversation with somebody, like as if you bumped into them at the store. Like, it's been forever. Oh my gosh, what are you up to? How are things going? Are these your kids? When you bump into people at the store, oh my gosh, introduce me to your kids. Wow, what a beautiful family you have. Like, have a conversation with people, find out, reconnect, right? And then when they say, okay, great talking to you, and they're done, they're leaving, great. It's great talking to you too. Not everyone will result in something, but they will come back, as she mentioned, which is so cool. So Karen, thanks for sharing that. Who else has got a question?
Hi, Eric. It's Margie.
Hi, Margie.
Hi. First of all, I love this program. I love Teamzy. Been doing it a couple months now. I guess my question is that the connects that you make and 1 month, and then they don't respond, and they come up, you have them as a 5, and they come up again, and you see that message, hi, Carol, just stopping by to say hello, how are you, hope your day's good, and you see that sitting there, like, what's the next message? Hope your day is good?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to word that 30 days again,
Yeah, no, I feel you. So first off, make sure they're really a 5-star person.
That was my other question. Should I drop,
So if they're
reevaluate their stars?
If they're a 5-star person, those are people you feel really comfortable messaging. Mm-hmm. Typically. Okay. Now you may put people in as 5 stars temporarily because you want to be in touch. Like, I know, like, a lot of people, like, they get a new customer, they make them 5 because first 3 months, they want to be talking to them every month. Right. So, but that doesn't, over time, your 5-star people are your favorite people. So they're easy to message. If you're my good friend and I message you, didn't respond, like, I know that it's not because you're ghosting me. It's because you missed the message or you were busy at that moment. You forgot about it. So I'm just going to message you. Okay. So just message them again. Be like, hey, so what are you doing these days, or whatever? Just message them again. Now, if you look at that 5-star person a month later and you feel really uncomfortable sending the message, they probably shouldn't be 5 stars.
That's what I was thinking.
And then a little bit more time can pass and you can send it. For those of you who haven't used Teamzy, there's basically 3 connect messages. People are like, you only gave me 3. I was like, well, I figured by the time you connected with 1,000 people, you could ad-lib your own, right? You get good at it after a while. But one of them is one that I used when I didn't remember the person, or if we had a really tenuous connection. And the script was, hey, Becky, I saw you cross my Facebook feed. I thought I'd say hello. Because a lot of times you're connected on Facebook with people and you don't really know why. So it's like, that happens, right? You see somebody in your feed and I thought I'd say hello. And it's like, oh, hi. And if you guys are active sharing your journey, people are more likely than not watching what you're up to, and they feel like they know you a bit, which is kind of great. So they'll respond. Did that help? Who else has a question?
Who does? Let's see. I've got a couple. I was waiting for everybody else, but let me fire these out. Top 100 list. So we're all taught at the beginning of the month. Got your list of 100. What's your opinion about that, and how, if you recommend it, do we use Teamzy to go after our 100?
Well, your top 100 would be your 5- and 4-star people in Teamzy. So if you wanted to tag them as top 100, you could, and then you could have a separate list if you wanted to use the tag, Mike. But what I would do is, Teamzy takes your top 100 to the next level. Now you've got all your relationships in here. But how do you know who's your top? By ranking them up higher. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
I mean, kind of the old school way of building our business, you get out a piece of paper and it's like, make a list of 100 names. That's really hard to do for people. But if you look at their Facebook, they've got 800, 900, sometimes thousands of people. It's like, just put that whole list in Teamzy and let's rock. Does that make sense? So it just saves you that kind of mental energy. And then you can go through your list and go, I like that person, like that person, like that person I like, and rank them up and get started with them. So
Great.
If that helps.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Speaking of ranking, you've given us a 5-day challenge, and I saw some hands go up on that. Ranking in the first 5 days is probably not the best time to go rank your 900 people before you ever reach out and put a connect. I would imagine that you want us to speed up through that. But when is a good time? Like if I've got 900 friends, when should I do the ranking?
I would do it right away, but here's what I want you to do. I just want you to scan the list. You know, when you're like skimming a magazine article, I want you to skim your list and just look for your favorite people. So they show up first. It won't be perfect, but you'll get a bunch of them up there at the top of your list. So that's what I would do, is I would just do a quick scan through the list and pick them out so that you can get started with those folks. Because if you have 900 people, now here's the thing. Honestly, Mike, I want you guys to get something going your first week. And you're more likely to get something going your first week of using Teamzy if you're connecting with the warmer relationships, the people who already have some trust, right? So it's like when you take your kids, trick-or-treating and they're little, you take them to grandma's house first, right? You take them to grandma's house first because it's like, oh my gosh, here you are. Here's a bunch of candy. Like, oh, this is awesome. Now let's go hit 500 more houses. It's kind of like that. You want to start with grandma. You want to start with people who are going to be like, oh my gosh, it's great to hear from you. It builds confidence. It gets you going. Plus those people are closer to trusting you. Okay. The people who already trust you, guys, I want you guys to really understand this. There are people who trust you. They may not be ready to join your team, but they absolutely would recommend people to you. They absolutely would recommend people to your mission. They just maybe don't know you're on a mission. Does this make sense?
Right on, right on.
Let people know that.
Cool. 2 more questions, then I'll see if anybody else. So this is going on in the Teamzy community Facebook right now. If 20 is good, 40 is better. You're wasting your time if you don't make 60 connects every day in Teamzy. Could you speak to that?
That's my friend Rob, and he is way intense. He's way intense. Look, I worked with a guy who called guys like Rob grenade heads. And I love this guy, but he's an intense dude. You guys know how some people are super intense. Look, you need to set your goal and just focus on your goal. Is your goal 15 connects a day? Great. Is that going to get you where you want to go? Perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about being consistent. Is it better to exercise 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, or go to the gym on Saturday for 3 hours? You know, the consistency is what matters. So just want you to know, you don't have to go to Rob's levels. He is a very intense young man, but just be consistent with the goals you set. That being said, I mean, if you know a lot of people, you can connect with more, but you're going to be very busy.
For sure. Last question I had, you mentioned that I was crushing in the boot camp. I've thoroughly enjoyed the boot camp and have passed on a lot of these pearls to my team that you've given. Is there another boot camp coming, and how would somebody consider doing that when it comes up?
Yes, great question. Boot camp's coming up very soon. In fact, if you guys are in Teamzy free trials, you're probably already getting some kind of introductory emails about boot camp. Boot camp is a 12-week training program that my business partner, Mike Lopez, and I host. We put you in an accountability group where we train you every week for 12 weeks on specific topics to help you get better at relationship marketing. And then we create kind of an atmosphere of accountability and high performance so that we can get you a lot of momentum in your business in 12 weeks, really teach you some good habits. The boot camp is open. The next boot camp is opening up for registration on July 8th. So what is that, a week from today? Is it? No, a week from Monday. Or that's Monday. Man, I'm losing it. Monday. It opens up July 8th. So registration's open for 7 days, once a quarter, and then it closes. So if you're interested, keep an eye out for that. We registration is the 7th. The 15th is when we begin prep week. So we do a week where you've got different, you're setting goals and connecting with a success partner and things like that. And then boot camp actually begins week 1 on July 22nd. So anybody who is interested in doing boot camp, it's pretty amazing. I have to say it's the most fulfilling thing I've done in my career is create this boot camp. It's the stories and the camaraderie. Some of you may even make lifelong friends in the boot camp with people that you're connecting with and holding accountable. The boot camp cost, it's $297, the tuition to boot camp. So it's like, what is that? Less than a cup of coffee a day for 12 weeks. I wanted to add a zero to that, but we decided to keep it really accessible. Well, in my real estate consulting business, we add zeros to everything, couple zeros, and people pay it. So, right? What the heck? But so we've made it really affordable. So people who are new to the business can afford it. So you need to have a Teamzy subscription, and then the tuition to the boot camp is $297. We also do, I forgot to mention this, in boot camp, we also do live coaching calls. So Mike and I do 3 live coaching calls in the boot camp too. So in addition to the 12 weeks of training, we do like a live training based on where the group is and what everyone needs. So did I answer it, Mike? Okay.
Yeah, you did. And just like when my first day in BNI, I got a client. That client paid me profit that I invested in BNI. In my 30-day trial, I got a client, and that paid for the Teamzy boot camp. And so as people are doing what you've asked them to do, boot camp will be a problem if they want to do it.
I love the story you shared with me about the physician that you talked to. How's that one going?
Okay, so which physician am I talking about? Which one? Which one are we talking about?
Is this great or what, guys? Which one? No, you had messaged me that that you had somebody come up on your list. You messaged him out of the blue, didn't think it would be a good one, and he was looking for a solution. And you guys had a meeting set up. He was going to talk about referring his patients.
Oh yeah. Dr. Bizel. He's 5-star, and yes, I met with him. And so thank you. It's because he's in the 30 days right now, and he just installed equipment that will detect whether a person has diabetes or not. And so I was able to jump in. I said, what are you going to do if they have diabetes? He said, I'll probably send them to their provider. And I said, can I get in there between? He said, I have no problem referring them to a health coach before they go to their provider. And so, yeah, that's Dr. Brian Bizel. Yep.
Pretty awesome.
So eye doctor. When you said physician, it threw me. But yes, he's a doctor.
Oh, okay.
Eye doctor.
Gotcha. Very cool. I love stories like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're changing lives. Any other questions?
I have a funny story. I'm sure that Eric would love to hear this. So,
I can't wait.
Eric, my husband says to me all the time, hey, did that person, before you let him go, like I sold a futon on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. And Mike's like, but does that guy know that you're a health coach? And I'm like, dude, he came to pick up a futon. Mike's like, don't miss any opportunities.
That's awesome.
So anyway, I have to tell you the funniest thing. I get a call today. You know how those robo people, like, it looks like it's a familiar city. You think you might know something to say, but you don't really know. So I answer it, and it was some guy from Wayfair. I bought something on Wayfair for my office. And he says, hi, this is Juan from Wayfair, whatever. And he said, I am your consultant at Wayfair, and I can help you with all of your shopping needs and whatever. I'm like, dude, I do not have time for this right now. But then I'm like, Mike told me I had to add people to Teamzy every day. So I'm like, all right, Juan, you're the guy. So he said, can I ask you a few questions about your business? I'm like, yeah. What kind of business are you in? I said, you know those people that need to get their sugar under control, and those people that need to, like, level up their blood sugars and get off of their insulin because they're diabetic? And he's like, yeah. I said, I help people like that. He's like, really? I said, yeah. And you know those people who need to drop about 30 or 40 pounds and they've tried everything and they can't seem to figure it out? I help people like that. That's what I do. I'm a health coach. And he said, wow, I really need that. He said, my doctor told me, and he went off, blah, 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 blah. He's a call center guy, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, as it turns out, Juan Cervantes is now in my Teamzy, and he gave me his personal email address, and he's like, yes, send me some information. But he said, don't tell me any more right now. Let's keep business, and personal, because this call may be monitored for training purposes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and then I set a follow-up because I want to make sure that I follow up with him. So it was really cool. He's in my Teamzy now. So
that's awesome. I love stories like that. How cool is that story, guys? So some of you know my backstory. I was a Beachbody coach, and I'm not now anymore because Teamzy is my thing. But I was wearing a t-shirt, like a Beachbody t-shirt, and it was like a Insanity. Have you guys ever heard of the Insanity? So I was wearing a t-shirt, and I was at the Under Armour outlet store in Las Vegas looking for sneakers or something. And the guy walks up to me who works there and he says, "Hey, you need help with anything?" I said, "Well, you know, not really. I'm just looking around." He goes, he points to my shirt. He goes, "Have you done that?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm a Beachbody coach." He goes, "Oh, you are?" And so the same thing, same story, Karen. But you know what I did was I said, "Let's stay in touch. I'll get you some information." He said, "Cool." I pulled out my phone, which had Teamzy, was like newly minted. I opened it up. He goes, "What's that?" I go, "Oh, this is my system I use to stay in contact with people." I put his information in Teamzy. He was so impressed with the fact that I had Teamzy on my phone. But he also became a customer. So yeah, you got to keep your ears open, guys. Don't be afraid to share what you do and why you're passionate about it. What is the problem you solve? Articulate that. By the way, I loved, Karen, the way you articulated 2 specific problems that you solve for people. That's awesome. Now everybody knows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I figured there's a good chance he's either diabetic or can't lose weight or something, you know.
Just about everybody is in our country, aren't they?
Well, 77%. So there you go.
And if they're not, their mom is, or their sister is, or somebody that they love is.
Right. Yeah.
So it's really cool. Awesome. Good work. All right, let's take one more question. Then I'm going to go tuck my kids in. Kimberly?
I have a question. Is Teamzy an app? Is there an app for Teamzy, or when you're using your phone, what's the best way? Just go to teamzy.com?
Yeah, the web URL for the actual application is app.teamzy.com. It's a mobile website. We are building a mobile native app, but right now it's just a mobile website that's really functional on your phone. So what you can do is once you go there, Kimberly, on your phone, you can save the shortcut to your home screen. So it looks like an app icon, and then you can jump right in whenever you need it. There's a little checkbox. You can stay logged in, so you never have to log in. So you can toggle. So that's important because when you're messaging on Teamzy, you're going to be toggling to Messenger or toggling to text, and then back and forth. And it works great. I use an iPhone 10, so it's like a little swipe up to toggle between apps, or but it's super easy. You can just okay. All right. So any other questions before I send you guys on your way? Any burning questions? Okay. Mike, thank you for having us tonight. I really appreciate the opportunity to connect with your team. I will send you this recording tonight or tomorrow morning so you can have it for the team. But I just want to thank you guys again for having me tonight. I hope this was helpful. We are honored to have you as part of our Teamzy family. God bless you all. Have a great night.
Thanks, Eric.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.